All right, next we go over to Jackson State. Coach TC Taylor, once again, if you do have questions, please utilize the raise your hand feature to get your question in the queue. With that being said, happy to be joined by Coach Taylor with Jackson State. Good morning, Coach.
Hey, good morning. How you doing?
Doing great, Coach. And as always, thank you for taking time out of your schedule to join us. If you could start us out with an opening statement, recapping your team's most recent outing versus Tuskegee.
Yeah, it was a solid weekend this past weekend for our football team. We were back at home coming off a tough loss over in Hattiesburg against a good Southern Miss football team. We saw they went out and dominated App State this past weekend as well. But Tuskegee came to town. Coach James Kemp brought that team in here. They were ready to play football. Our guys did a good job though going out there and responding. I thought we were pretty solid in all three phases, but with the bye week coming up, we still got a lot of work to do. So we're looking forward to it. Getting back to work on the football field this week. With probably get about three practices in before we turn the guys loose on break a little bit and let them get their legs back under them. But solid performance by our football team this past weekend. I'm very pleased.
Appreciate those opening comments, Coach. First question goes to Wayne Cartwright.
Good afternoon, Coach Taylor. How are you?
I'm good, Wayne. How you doing?
Doing well, man. So you had the opportunity to get a lot of guys playing time this week.
Hmm.
So with this being able to work on your depth, what are you going to do during this bye week now in terms of making that cohesiveness fit ahead of this game coming up against Southern?
Yeah, great question. This week for us, like I said, we're just going to continue to polish the things that we do well. The chemistry and the stuff that you're talking about, we kind of fixed all that, with the work we do in the summertime. So that's how we kind of knew that those guys were going to be able to make an impact, in a game like this past weekend. We do got a few guys down far as injuries, but we have total faith in those guys we put on the football field. We played quite a few young guys this past weekend, and they went out there and responded. But it's just a attest to the type of recruiting we do here. We believe in those freshman high school players, those transfers that we bring in here, and they did a good job for us this past weekend.
All right, Coach. Best to you during the bye week. We'll talk next week about that team you're getting ready to play.
All right, thank you. Be safe.
Next question goes to James Hill.
Hey, Coach, I hope you and everyone in the Cap City are well. Mr. Lockhart, 14 of 20 for 257, 1-1. He performed. Talk a little bit about his contribution and then as you move forward into Southern.
Yeah, it was just a deal where the next man was up, next guy up. Locke has been doing a good job throughout the off-season program and everything. Him being a true freshman, we didn't know how much we could put on his plate, for as him getting his first college football start. But he went out there and responded. He did have some mistakes out there, some things we got to get corrected with him. But he has all the tools and the ability you want in a college quarterback. A big kid, big strong arm. You saw him throw the ball around the yard. The players around him believe in him. But he did a good job. He did a good job. It's an important week for him as well. He's in the building. I just seen him earlier. He was headed to the weight room. He'll get some meeting time today. But a young kid with a load of talent that's got a really bright future.
Good luck with the bye week as you move into Southern.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Next question goes to Doc Holliday.
Coach TC, how you doing today?
I'm good, Doc. How are you?
I'm doing good. A lot of people on the broadcast were saying that it might be a quarterback battle coming up in the next week, but I dispel that. Jared Lockhart coming in as a true freshman reminded me of another freshman that came into the program while you was there, in Robert Kent.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Going into this game, what did you tell Jared as far as taking control of the game and not letting the big stage get to you?
Well, first thing first, as an offensive staff, I thought we did a great job of making sure we simplified the package for them. Anytime you get a young quarterback, out going in there as a first-time starter in a college football game, you don't want to put too much on his plate. And then the next thing is just trying to figure out the things he can do well. I think my biggest question I told the offensive coaches, everybody, I just wanted to see him take that first hit. And he went up out there, he got hit, got up off the ground and, came back and was making some impressive throws out there. But he did it all. He ran the ball well, he threw the ball well, but he still got a ways to go. Far as the quarterback controversy, we know what Jacoby and Morgan brings to this football team. We see what Jared can bring to the football team. Hell, Parker Stover goes out there and ran for a touchdown. All these guys are good football players. So, I got confidence in all four of those quarterbacks we have in the room.
And my second question, offensively, you played twos and threes on the offensive side of the ball. And I know we talked about the penalties, trying to clean up the penalties and everything. What is the things you still want to try to get going as far as going into this bye week with penalties?
Yeah, it's just something we got to clean up. But just going back and looking at it, I just took it up on myself to look around the league. It's these flags are flying everywhere right now. So, but just for us in general, we just got to continue to enforce the discipline when you're talking about the penalties. We got the guys in here yesterday, had a great team meeting. After that, we on the field. We do punishment for the penalties. So it's some things that we got to continue to work on. But a couple of them out there was kind of tough to look at, and I'm gonna just leave it at that.
All right, appreciate you, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Next question goes to Tia Reed.
Hi, Coach. You all have been really strong defensively throughout your non-conference play. As you get ready to go into SWAC play throughout the bye week, what steps, if any, do you think you guys can take on that side of the ball to get even better and really be ready to go for SWAC play?
Yeah, just talking to Coach Quinn, he knows, and I know as well. We got to continue to create more turnovers. That's the one thing that I think we can improve on, just creating more turnovers on the defensive side. But we got some guys over there really playing at a high clip. Quincy Ivory, Cam Silas, all those guys are playing at a high level. We'll get Jeremiah Williams back in the mix here too soon. So Reed Pulliam, Ashton Taylor, all those guys are playing at a high clip, like you said. So I think just the one thing we could do a little better is just continue to create turnovers and giving the opportunity to the offense to score more points.
Next question goes to Charles Bishop.
Charles Bishop, Dr. Fields, inside the HBC Sports Lab. How you doing, Coach?
I'm good, Chuck. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I just wanted to ask a quick question in regards to something you said in post game in terms of still trying to kind of figure out, how to get the ball to guys in certain roles and things of that nature. But going into the bye week, I kind of joke with you in terms of the number of toys that you have. Is it difficult sometimes to kind of figure out which toy to play with?
I mean, yeah, if all of them shiny, you don't, whatever one you pick up, you in good shape. You got Nate Rembert out there, you got Shamar Savage, you got the guys, Jamil Gardner come out of nowhere on this past weekend for us as well. So we tell those guys, you never know when it's your time to step up. Nobody knew about Jared Lockhart until he stepped on the football this past weekend. So anytime like you said, you got those kind of toys laying around, it's good to have as an offense because it's hard for a lot of times defenses to game plan and take away one guy. If you look at last year, our high productive guy was Jonas Fortillion. So he saw a lot of, cloud coverage over the top. Dupree and Spencer was out there too, but they just found ways to take away, Jonas sometimes in some games, as well as our running back we had last year. So now when you have so many weapons out there on the football field, you saw a host of running backs carry the ball the other day. A bunch of guys stepping up at the receiver position. Kobe Paul made some great plays as well. Yeah, we even tried to design something for Amarion, our freshman receiver. It's good for Jackson State football when you have those kind of weapons. The main thing, like you said, Chuck, is just trying to keep them all happy.
I appreciate that, Coach.
No problem.
Next question goes to Ernest Riggs.
Hey, Coach Ernest Rex, MTMV Sports. Coach, phenomenal game. Congratulations on the win. I want to talk to you about the discipline. You mentioned punishment for the penalties. I want to know what are some of those punishments, and then how'd you come up with that idea, a creative way for team discipline?
Yeah, just letting the players know, those penalties aren't acceptable. So we just do, simple things like, Coach O is in charge of our punishment on Sundays with the penalties and everything, and he has a variety of deals where he put the players through. So I won't say nothing in particular, but it catches their attention, and they're conscious of it and they do not look forward to it. But I'll leave it at that. But it's just something we got to continue to stress. With us having, I think, in 3 games over 30 penalties right now. And again, like I said, it's all over the SWAC right now. A lot of penalty flags are being thrown, but you know, we got to worry about us, and it's something that we have to fix, especially going into conference play. We don't want that to be a problem for us going into these conference games.
I appreciate it, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.
Coach Taylor, as always, appreciate your time. Look forward to speaking to you again next week.
All right, thank you.
Yes,
Y'all
sir.
got it.